Hey, how is everyone? Lou from RV Habit, and today's project is going to be cell phone booster. Now I have a Wi-Fi booster by King called the King Falcon. It's an automatic directional antenna I installed last year. I'll put a link to the video I did up here in the corner, but it works fantastic. You can't beat it, except there's only one problem. You need to have a Wi-Fi signal to pick up, and we know there's not a lot of Wi-Fi signals around sometimes. So we rely on our cell phones and laptops and tablets, and that's where a cell phone booster will come in. Now, full-timers and people who work on the road, they're no stranger to cell phone boosters, but us weekenders and long vacationers, we've always considered it a luxury, but it's 2020. It's really not a luxury anymore to stay connected, even if you're somewhere where there's poor cell phone service and you just need to make an emergency call. Now there's quite a few on the market, and they aren't cheap. I mean, they range from $400 to $500. But I want to try the King Extend. I've been real happy with King. I even use their satellite dish on my satellite TV. So they have a new Extend unit. I'll show you what's in it. So cell phone boosters are really pretty basic, and there's only three main components: an outside antenna, a booster, and an inside antenna. This kit comes with an outside antenna and mounting hardware. Now, most commonly people mount it to their RV ladder. I don't have an RV ladder, but I have a great solution on how to mount this to your roof with no screws at all, so there's no chance of any leaks. I'll show you that in a few minutes. From the outside antenna, it gives you cable to come inside the RV and connect to the booster itself. From the booster, you're going to connect this inside antenna, and you just put this in an area where you use your cell phones or your laptops the most. These have a range, they say, from 1 to 10 feet. I notice it starts to drop off considerably when you're about 6 feet away from this antenna. The closer you are, obviously the better the signal. Now, cell phone boosters do not create a cell phone signal. What they can do is reach out and catch a weak signal. There has to be some signal out there. If it finds a weak signal, it can rebroadcast it boosted inside your RV. It cannot create a signal from zero.
0.0.
But this is really, like I said, it's very, very basic to connect. And once you have it and you don't have cell phone service, you're going to be happy. So first thing, let me take you in a workshop. I'm going to show you how to mount this on your roof if you don't have an RV ladder with no screws. So I'm in the workshop. Let me explain to you what I have here. And I know this works because I've done this to mount antennas to the roof before, and they hold rock solid. So what I have here is a piece of 5/4 oak. Last time I actually used 2 pressure treated pieces of plywood and glued them together to get some thickness. You want this to be a good inch and a quarter so the screws can hold into this wood. Basically, I've cut a 45-degree angle on all 4 sides. I don't know if this is necessary, but I cut a small piece of aluminum and I'm going to glue it to the top. And from there, I'll put this mount on, drill 4 screws, and screw it into this wood. So I will have a mount that looks like this, all self-contained. From there, I can lay this on the RV roof, and with the use of Eternbond tape, I can stick the Eternbond tape to the 45-degree angles and then onto the RV. And I'll do that on all 4 sides. There'll be no water penetration to get to the wood, and it will stick to your RV roof very, very solid. It will not come off, and you don't have to worry about screwing into your roof. So let me get started with this. I'll glue this down first, and then I'll mount this. Okay, so I have the glue, and I'll just put this on here like this. this down. Now I'm going to put the mount on here. I'll center it on the wood. And I'm going to mark where I'm going to drill some pilot holes. There we go. I'll just drill these 4 holes and then I can screw this mount on. Place that on there. And I'm going to use what I use all the time. This is a Craig coarse threaded screw. These work great. These are really strong. Okay, so now we have our mount. The antenna will mount here, and then I could Eternabond this to the roof, and I can die core over these screw heads so no water gets down into this wood here. And that's it. So I have my antenna mount all done. As you can see, I mounted the antenna on this now, and this is ready to go on the roof. Now this is the most important part. You're going to put this on the roof where you'd like it to go and run the wire. I'm going to run the wire down my refrigerator vent into the RV, into my utility closet, and then I'm going to connect this booster, and then I'm going to connect this interior antenna to the booster and put it where I would like it. At that point, everything is temporary. You're going to check when you plug this in, a light will come on. If it's green, you're good to go. If it's red, it means that this antenna and this antenna are too close together and they're oscillating, which in layman terms means they're interfering with each other. So the idea is to get these 2 antennas as far away from each other as possible for this to work properly. Now, typically if you can put it on the back of your roof and you're putting this in the front, you're going to have no problem. It's when it's, say, right above you and this antenna is right below you, it's not enough distance and you'll get interference. So before I actually mount this on the RV, I'm going to put it where I'd like it and test it to make sure it's in a good position before I permanently mount it to the roof. So I'm going to put this on the roof, run the wire, and we'll pick up. I'll be connecting this. This is my utility closet, and this is where I have the cable from the exterior antenna run. This is the cable to the interior antenna, and this is the power wire. Now I'm going to connect the booster, and I don't know if you can see it, but one side says outside antenna, the other side says inside antenna. Connect the outside antenna first, and that is the thicker of the 2 cables because they do have the same type of connections, but the thicker of the 2 cables is the exterior antenna. And do the interior antenna. And once your antennas are connected, on the bottom you'll see a power port for your power plug. You're going to plug this in, and we have a solid green light. So the solid green light means our antennas are in a good position where they're not interfering with each other. If this was to be a red light or a blinking red light, I could move my interior antenna or my exterior antenna or both to get that green light. Now they're actually not too far apart, so it doesn't take much to get this green light. Okay, so now I'll just permanently mount the outside antenna. I'll clean all this up, and then we'll take a look at it all installed. Just a quick demo, and we're going to check to make sure it works. This is my cell phone service without any booster. Where I'm currently at, it's negative 107, 108 dB. It's bouncing a little bit, but it's in that neighborhood. I'm going to disconnect from the cell tower by putting it on airport mode. I'll turn the booster on and then we'll see what we get. So the booster's on now. I'll take it off airport mode. It'll let it connect to the booster. Sometimes you need to reset your phones to do that. and I'm looking at negative 80 dB, so a definite gain of 22, 23 at least. So we know everything works and we're getting great boost. As you can see, pretty easy install. I didn't even cut myself. I'm going to leave some more information on my website. I'll do a blog article and I'll leave PDF instructions and everything for the KX1000 on that article. I'll also leave some links below if you want to do some more research on the KX1000. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.